Today, across the world, there is a huge mobilisation against fossil fuels. I think it's going to be really powerful to see all those people on the streets today.
The climate crisis is obviously a global issue. It's primarily impacting, at the moment, communities in the global south, but we are feeling very real impacts in the global north, including in the UK.
We're seeing the effects in our backyard. We've seen heat waves last summer that really impacted us in London. We have coastal erosion that's happening in the north of the country, where people are literally losing their houses into the sea because of sea level rise.
Here we are in the beautiful coastal English town of Hemsby. I moved here in November 2017. My house at the time was 40 metres over there where the sea is breaking. And due to a massive storm in March, April of 2018 and the following storm, I had to move my house back here.
Can you imagine our beach used to be at least 600 metres wide? What you see now is just a tiny little fragment of what was before, and we'd like to protect what we have left so that we still have a beach here.
I was stood in my kitchen, which was over there somewhere, and I heard this resounding crack, and I looked down and I could see the sea through the floor. We decided that if we wanted to save the rest of the building, that we would have to cut the kitchen and the bathroom part off. The back of the house was there one moment, the next minute, without a noise, without a sound, it had gone. So we moved it forward, and then we'd clear the sand, then we'd move it forward again, and then we'd clear the sand, and then we'd move it forward until we'd moved it 10.5 metres. And that's where we stayed until 2023, when it all repeated again.
We're not foolish, we know that you can't stop the sea, the power of the waves, but when something is changing your coastline, why would you not try to preserve what you have as well?
When I see the natural disasters like the forest fires and the floods, the first thought is just the urgency that we need to take action. You know, when I see that, it's scary, but it angers me in a way that makes me want to fight back and to do everything that I can to challenge that and to stop that and to talk to everyone else in my life to say, we need to do something now, it's urgent, it's here.
What's happening with climate change is basically the equivalent of having a runaway train that's heading off the edge of a cliff. And we need the law to be on the same side as all of us who are desperate to have our world not become a victim of a climate catastrophe or a continued climate catastrophe.
We really need a broad coalition of on-the-ground campaigners, policymakers, but also lawyers. And through the law, I do really believe that we can change the way governments and oil majors like Shell act and force them to change their operations and build a much fairer and more sustainable society.
More people will suffer and die in the future if we don't take really urgent action. So it's a peaceful form of making our voices heard and saying that these fossil fuel companies aren't welcome in our city.